Hello Bob. I have a question for you. Do you know how religion influenced the daily life in 5 signs in River Valley civilizations?
Oh, hello there, John. I do in fact know that. Would you like me to tell you?
Yes, please.
Well, religion was a big part of life in River Valley civilizations in places like Mesopotamia. Each city-state represented a different god. These gods included ones of the salt water, fresh water and wind. Every city-state had a ziggurat, and the god was believed to live on the very top of it. The Mesopotamian priests presented food offerings to the gods at least 2 times a day and only ate after their food was presented to the gods. They also thought that the food that they gave the gods decided what would happen in their lives.
But how does that happen? It's just food.
Well, it was thought that if the priests presented an apple and then a volcano erupted, people would think that it was the apple that caused the eruption.
So then they wouldn't give the god any more apples, right?
Correct.
But how does all of this have to do with the 5 signs of civilization?
Well, only the priests, which were wealthy and had lots of power, were allowed to present the food offerings to the gods. This was an example of one of the 5 signs, social classes. This leads me to the next of the 5 signs, which is government. The ensi, or king, was said to be chosen by the god. This means that there was no choice by the people.
That sounds a little bit unfair, doesn't it?
Yes, a little bit, but let's keep going. Anyway, the next of the 5 signs is surplus. The gods had to get their food offerings, so that means that there was definitely enough food. Priests had a special job. It was to give offerings to the gods and making sure they were happy. Also, if people really wanted to make food for the gods, they would become farmers. This showed specialization of labor. The last sign, and probably most affected by religion, is culture. It was one of the most important things for everyone in River Valley civilizations.
But why was it so important?
People would make statues of their gods and would care for them. Also, the ziggurat, where almost all cultural rituals took place, was home of the god. Another thing is the architecture of the ziggurat. Architecture was culture.
Wow. Thanks Bob for all of your help.
My pleasure, John.